The oldest dance hall in Texas, zebras, water parks. Hey y'all, it's Matt. We're living in Braunfels, Texas, and the New Home Realty Group. Okay, I'm back. I took a little hiatus from making some content. I was just a little bit burned out, but we're gonna be kicking it back up. The funny thing is, I decided yesterday, I was like, hey, I need to start making some more videos, get the channel back going, get back in front of y'all, providing more value, more information. And then last night, somebody commented, but yeah, just last night I saw the message notification from Veronica Poe saying, hey, when are you going to start making some more content? My husband and I love watching your channel. And it was just happened to be like, hey, I just decided today to start making some more content. So here we are. This is actually Wednesday that I'm filming this. It'll probably be out on Friday. But yeah, we'll start making some more content about New Braunfels. And sorry for my absence, but like I said, it was just, man, it's a lot. It's a lot making these videos, and I was just a little tired. So I was focusing on some other stuff. And yeah, while we're here, I want to give a shout out to my virtual assistant, Grace. She's been with me for over 4.5 years. She's the one who edits all these videos. Thank you, Grace, for everything that you do. If you're looking for a virtual assistant, let me know. That's something else that I also do. I'll put a link in the description below for that. So I can help any kind of business owners or agents, if you're watching this, find a virtual assistant. But anyway, back to the zebras and the oldest dance hall in Texas and parks and water parks and all that. Today we're going to talk about the top 10 things there is to do in New Braunfels, Texas. Okay, so a lot of you are looking at maybe moving from where you're at, okay? Because that's what this channel is about. I've gotten so much business, so many people that have contacted me because they're looking at moving for whatever reason, and they're exploring different places that they want to be, and New Braunfels, Texas is one of them. And I mean, a lot of people choose it. We're one of the fastest growing cities in the nation, in the county and everything. So now you're checking out New Braunfels, or maybe even Seguin, which is nearby. But you're wondering, what is there to do? All right, we cover all kinds of topics on this channel, like things to do, the cost of living, homes, all kinds of stuff, right? Today, it's the top 10 things to do. With such great weather that we have around here, it's warm, so we get really warm summers. We haven't been hitting 100 as much, which is kind of nice. But we also have some pretty mild winters most of the time. We've gotten snow a couple times, but most of the time, for the most part, it's a mild winter. So with that kind of weather, there's lots of stuff to do outdoors, to get out and about, and you're not really hunkered down or anything for a few months, but because your whole state is covered in snow or anything like that. We're blessed for that. And during the summer is one of the top things that people come and do. So locals do it, and people come in from all over the state, all over the U.S., visiting New Braunfels just for this, and it's to float the rivers. So in New Braunfels, we have the Comal River, which is a natural spring-fed river. I think it's like the shortest navigable river in the world. It's only about 2 miles long. And we have the Guadalupe River. Both of them, people love to float down the rivers. It's a good time. And especially when it gets hot, when we're in the 90s all the time during the summer, to be able to just jump in the river and cool down, or to go tubing, that's something that people just absolutely love to do, especially on weekends. Here's a little thing though. If you're going to be here and you want to become a local, go tubing during the week when it's not so crazy on the weekends. If you like crazy, hey, that's fine. But yeah, so you can rent tubes from one of the local outfitters, or you can bring your own. Usually you have to pay like a small fee or something. If you're a resident, you might not have to, but we'll make another video about that sometime. But yeah, jump in the river. Like the Comal is anywhere between like 70 and 72 degrees year round. So during the winter, the Comal River is actually warmer than what the air is going to be outside, which is kind of cool. And then the Guadalupe River. Some people will float the Guadalupe here in town, but then they'll also go up River Road out into Comal County and float down and get out in Green. Or you can get in Green and then get out at Cypress Bend Park. Don't go any further than Cypress Bend Park. Make sure you get out there. That is the last exit for the Guadalupe River. And for the last tubers exit on the Comal River, make sure you get out there, because past that, it's all private property. And then you meet the confluence of the Guadalupe River. And if you keep floating, it starts to get dangerous, because there's used to be a dam there, and it's just make sure you get out of the last tubers exit, please. But yeah, that's the number one thing that people love to do, or it's gonna be number one on our list, right? Is float the river. Hey y'all, thanks for watching the channel and watching this video. Do me a favor though, While you're here, go and give it a like and make sure you go and hit subscribe and hit that bell to be notified every time I put out a new video. And if you're thinking about moving to New Braunfels, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. The contact information is down below. All right, sorry for the interruption. Back to the video. Oh, and hey, what's one of your favorite things to do here? All right, the second thing we'll talk about is Schlitterbahn Waterpark. I haven't done a video on Schlitterbahn Waterpark. As a matter of fact, I personally haven't been to Schlitterbahn since the early 2000s, but that's just me. They used to give, when I worked for the police department, they used to give us free passes every year and I always just gave them away. Anyway, we're gonna start taking our kids there pretty soon. But yeah, we have Schlitterbahn Waterpark, which is usually rated the #1 water park in the US, right here in New Braunfels. And all the water is fed by the Comal River, which is kind of cool. So you don't have like all this heavily chlorinated water and everything. It's all just river water. Anyway, not far from downtown New Braunfels is where Schlitterbahn is. And it actually has, at least 2 different areas of the park. I remember one of the last times I went there was in the early 2000s and going on the Master Blaster, you know, and it's this like a roller coaster type water slide where it actually shoots you up. But yeah, people love to go to Schlitterbahn, get season passes there, and people come in from all over the US to come to Schlitterbahn. It's a huge thing. It's a big deal. And I know guys that were born and raised here. I mean, I've been here for, like 16 years. But guys that were born and raised here, Schlitterbahn was their babysitter during the summer. So their parents would get them season passes, they'd drop them off in the morning on the way to work, and they'd pick them up in the afternoon on their way home. And that's all they do. Like Monday through Friday was just hang out at Schlitterbahn. So, but yeah, that's a great place to go to, to get outside and cool down. Get over to Schlitterbahn. They've got a resort there as well where you can stay or get any #1 of the hotels and Airbnbs around here. But yeah, that's our second one that we're touching on, the Schlitterbahn Waterpark. Number 3 is our historic downtown area. So downtown is a pretty cool little spot. You've got some historic stuff around there. We've got the main plaza, and so we have a little traffic circle, right? We have a roundabout. And in the middle of that, on that island, is a gazebo. And like, there's a lot of things that happen on that gazebo. I think you can have weddings there. There's been a lot of proposals. There's, carol singers and stuff like that, right? But anyway, outside of that, on each side, we've got small little boutiques and shops and a small furniture store. And there's a lot of restaurants down there. The bars, that's where most of the bars are actually in New Braunfels. There's a slew of them in the downtown area, such as the Poorhouse and Scores and Bootleggers and the Oyster Bar. And I'm sure I'm missing some others. The Blackwell Pub, Phoenix Saloon. I think that's where chili powder originated. That's what they said. If you go to Phoenix Saloon, I recommend getting the chili and the sweet potato wedges. Oh, the sweet potato wedges are so good. We'll touch on some of that stuff a little bit later though in the video, so keep watching. But yeah, that downtown area is a cool little place to go to during the day and kind of just stroll around, walk around, go to the antique shop. On Saturdays in the downtown area on South Castell Avenue, right next to Krause's Cafe, is our farmer's market. Every Saturday we have the downtown farmer's market. Cool little spot to go and pick up some stuff. That's another thing that happens downtown. And then the nightlife too. So the nightlife, whenever the bars are open, you got some of the restaurants like the Weesatch Grill and McAdoo's, and again, we'll touch on some of those. But yeah, it's a cool little place just to go and hang out whenever, my wife and I, we want to go, we say we both have the day off, or she's got the day off because I can make my own hours, right? We like to go play tourist in our own town sometimes. And so we'll go downtown and just kind of hang out, walk around, go get something to eat, have a drink, whatever. But yeah, it's a cool little spot. It's not huge, it's all walkable. There is paid parking now. I think that's been a contentious issue because people aren't used to it and a lot of tickets being handed out. The tickets aren't expensive. And I think if you happen to get one, as long as you go in and you register and you pay it, then they dismiss the ticket and all that. But regardless, pay attention to the signs and to the parking spots wherever you're at. If it's a paid parking spot, make sure you just pay it. It's cheaper than a ticket and it's just easier to do it. But yeah, cool little downtown area where lots of stuff goes on. Whenever we have festivals, or several festivals that happen downtown too. So, you might want to check a city calendar for that type of stuff. All right, the fourth thing we're going to touch on is green. So it's not like the color, it's Gruene, green. Green is not a town. All right, a lot of people say, oh, I want to live in green. This is green Texas. Don't be fooled. If somebody says, oh, come live in green Texas, they're trying to sell you something, right, and blow smoke up your butt. It's still New Braunfels. But what green is, it's a historic district within New Braunfels, okay? And what we have there, which is pretty special to us, is Green Hall. And Green Hall is the oldest dance hall in Texas. I grew up closer to like Victoria, between Corpus Christi and Victoria, Texas. And we had the second oldest dance hall with Schrader Hall. And now where I live, I get the state's oldest dance hall, which is pretty cool. But yeah, kind of everything revolves around Green Hall, but you have restaurants down there as well. You've got other shops and boutiques. You got a general store, two wineries. So you have the Vineyard and, oh, I forgot what the other one is across the street. Anyway, yeah, you can do wine tastings down there. The Vineyard has some places where you can go and hang out, listen to live music. They have the Green Market Days down there. And what else? I think that's once a month. They have other events that happen throughout the year. And Green is like one of the most visited places around here. Green gets well over 1 million visitors every single year. 1 million. So when you're looking for somewhere to live, you know, whenever you call me because I'm your local realtor and say, hey, I want to live somewhere, you know, I want to live near Green. All right, cool. Let's go check it out. Let's go spend some time in Green. And I encourage you to go there like on the weekend and see it on the evenings and see how busy it is. I'm not trying to discourage you from living in Green whatsoever. I'm just letting you know all the facts. That's somewhere else that my wife and I like to go to whenever we're playing tourists in our own town, is going to Green. We'll usually go do a wine tasting, go to one of the restaurants there. Green River Grill is actually where we had our first date, and it's kind of to the left of Green Hall a little ways. And then our favorite ice cream spot is Ray's Ice Cream. That's right there, kind of closer to the road in front of Green River Grill. And it's just a little bitty spot. And then like, I don't even think there's any tables or chairs inside of that location. You got to go eat it outside, but it's oh so good. You got to get like the coffee Oreo. I'm going to a diabetic coma just thinking about that stuff. Anyway, yeah, if you've heard of New Braunfels, you've heard of Green, they're synonymous. You got our iconic water tower there and everything. That's actually part of my logo. And yeah, cool little spot to go and visit. There's a big parking lot that you can park in. And I think they just added like 800 new spots to it. And then you can just walk around. You know, it's very walkable. I've actually done a walking tour of Green that you can check out as well. But yeah, whenever you visit New Braunfels, don't skip out on Green. All right, the fifth thing is our parks. So we have well over 30 parks, city parks, here inside New Braunfels, Texas. The main two, though, are going to be Landa Park and Fisher Park. So Fisher Park is kind of on the south end of town, off of Old McQueenie Road and County Line Road. And what's special about Fisher Park is it sits up on a hill that's one of the highest spots in the city, not the highest, but one of. And up there they've got a splash pad. So, you know, you can go in and they've got all these gazebos around and everything. You can go in and hang out with the kids. You know, the splash pad is there. They got a couple of playgrounds and swings, and another great place to cool off whenever the weather's really warm. They've got walking trails, a couple of ponds that you can go and fish at that are catch and release. And yeah, it's a great place to take the kids, or if you're looking for exercise with some scenery, go walk those walking trails around. The other is Landa Park. So Landa Park is our largest park. People come in from like San Antonio to go hang out at Landa Park. They've got Landa Lake. They have the train that's over there. They've got the Aquatic Center. There's multiple playgrounds, lots of parking, sidewalks for walking trails. There's just a lot to do over there, and tons of trees. Most of the park is going to be shaded, which is nice, especially when it's warm, right? To be able to escape that sun and get into the shade, that's all we're looking for. Like whenever you're so this is Texas, all right? When you're parking at the grocery store, you're not looking for a spot that's going to be closest to the door. You're looking for a spot that's got shade. We've got other parks here in town. Go look at the park's website and see how many there are. I mean, I swear, I remember one time when I worked for the city, it was over 30 then. There's more now, but I think back then it was like 33, and that might have even been before Fisher Park was around. All right, number 6 is Natural Bridge Caverns and their wildlife park. So this isn't technically New Braunfels, okay? It's between, say, New Braunfels and Schertz off of FM 3009. but it's a short drive away. And you got Natural Bridge Caverns, you got the caverns that you can go into and take tours in. And what we like to do is go through their wildlife ranch. So you pay an admission fee, you get food, you roll down your windows, you let the kids out of their car seats or booster seats or whatever, because you're creeping along very slow. Keep them in if you want, and then you can feed the animals. So there's different kinds of, antelope and deer and ostriches and zebras at the front, in the pens and everything. They're not out wandering around. You've got the giraffes. Towards the end is whenever you're gonna see the ostriches and zebras, but they're gonna have more giraffes towards the back. They've got some rhinos, which are pretty cool. They're not wandering around. They're in their own enclosures as well. Could you imagine if you're going through a wildlife ranch and there's rhinos around? No thanks. They've got an aviary there. They've got a little restaurant and, a gift shop, but the kids love it because they can go, they throw food at the animals. Be careful with the ostriches. They will get aggressive. They will stick their head in your car and try to get the food because they really want it. But I don't know, pretty cool spot to go outside of New Braunfels, okay? But it's one of the things that's around here that you can go and do. Speaking of animals, we have our own little zoo here. That's gonna be number 7 it's Animal World and Snake Farm Zoo, but it's affectionately known as a snake farm. Actually, I think Ray Wiley Hubbard wrote a song about it. But, so yes, as its name, Snake Farm, it does have snakes in it. They're in cages, they're in their own enclosures and everything like that, but they got them from little bitty snakes to like huge, like anacondas or boa constrictors or whatever they are. They're enormous. So they've got all those. The reptiles are gonna be in the front house. As soon as you walk in, like over to the right, you can go and check those out, but make sure you go out back and check out the rest, because that's where they're gonna have a lot of their other animals, some bigger cats, and I think they still have like the alligators. They've got a little petting zoo over there as well, so you can purchase some food and go into the petting zoo. Don't worry, it's not like alligators or a tiger or anything that's in the petting zoo. I don't think so. I think they stopped that. Yeah, a couple kids went missing. I'm just joking. And but yeah, so our kids love going there as well. They're not crazy about the snakes, but they like going to the back and jumping on the tour and learning about all the other animals. Another thing that people love doing here are events. Like, we've got tons of events that are happening throughout the year. Right now, coming up, starting actually this weekend, is the Comal County Fair and Rodeo. That happens in September. We also have Dia de los Muertos that's coming up, and the big one, it's our 10-day salute to sausage, beer, and polka music, and that's Wurstfest. So Wurstfest starts on the first Friday of the month and goes on for 10 days. And it kicks off with the biting of the sausage. Yeah, they actually do that. They like to have this big link of sausage, linked together. They bite it. That's officially kicking off Wurstfest, and it goes on for 10 days. So it's that Friday through that weekend, during the week to the next Sunday. It's a good time, and there'll be some days where it's free admission, or you can get discounted admission. You can buy tickets online, you buy tickets at the door. It will get packed though. But they have a lot of stuff for the kids. They've got carnival rides and games. There's tons of food. So one of my favorite things to get there are the fried Oreos. Yeah, fried Oreos, like they'll fry anything here. I think at the State Fair you can get fried butter and fried beer. But here in the Braunfels, the fried Oreos are awesome. The pork wings, you can find like sausage on a stick, and what else do they have? There's so much there. A few years ago, there was actually a fire at the Wurstfest grounds, and it damaged the building, and they had to rebuild. But it's back. It's beautiful. It's been back for a few years. But yeah, Wurstfest is the big one. In the downtown area is where we'll have like, it used to be called Wine and Sanger Fest. Now it's just Sanger Fest, and Wassail Fest. So Wassail Fest is usually in December, where a lot of the local businesses that are in the downtown area will make their own version of the wassail, and you can vote on it, or you can just go out and try it. They'll have unleaded, and also have some leaded, right? Maybe a little. But they shut the downtown area down. They get all the cars out of there, and you're free to walk around. It's a nice, safe environment, and it's take the kids out there. It's a good time. Like the community gets out, and God, this was in I think 2017. We had a threat of snow, and it sprinkled a little bit. We had a light dusting, and so I had to stay late with the police department a little bit. And I got home, We had made plans to go to Wurstfest, and we didn't. And then guess what happened? It did snow, and it was like just beautiful down there, and we totally missed it. Had it at the house, and my now wife was in the Creekside area with her niece and nephew and her sister, but we missed the Wurstfest where it snowed and it was magical. Like, yeah, tons of events that are going on throughout the year. You're not going to get bored here. There's always going to be something, things that are going on downtown, things that will be going on at the Civic Center, train shows and Christmas markets and just all kinds of stuff. All right, one of the things that I rarely never even touched on, it's been in some of my thumbnails and photos and stuff like that, is the Brauntex Theater. So, if you're one for theater and you like watching plays or maybe even live music, the Brauntex right downtown in downtown New Braunfels is a great place to go. I've been for a couple of events, but you'll drive by, you'll see on the marquee the things that are coming up. They have all kinds of concerts, and there have been like some big names in there. Not like, George Strait and stuff like that, but maybe people from the 90s. But yeah, some great concerts that happen there, and then different plays and shows and things like that at the Brauntex Theater. So, if you're into that, like I am, I remember used to going to the Josephine Theater because I had a roommate that was down there and going to see a live performance. Make sure you check out the Brauntex. So that's number 9. All right, and the last thing we're going to talk about is the food. There is so much awesome food here in New Braunfels that are not chain restaurants. All right, I'm not trying to knock the chain restaurants. We have an Applebee's, we've got a Chili's, we have like a BJ's Brew House, and what's that other one? The Longhorn Steakhouse, and I think we're getting a Texas Roadhouse again. We've got those, okay? We even have is it still around? This is how much I don't eat at the chain restaurants, at Buffalo Wild Wings. We've got our own, like a lot of privately owned restaurants that aren't chains. Like if you want wings, go to Wings and Rings, all right? That's over on the Loop near Common. We've got a great steakhouse with Myron's. We have McAdoo's that's downtown. Well, Myron's and McAdoo's are just like a couple of doors down from each other. And so Myron's for steaks, McAdoo's for great seafood and Cajun food. It's a great, if you're looking for a date night, whether it's, if you're courting somebody and you want to have a nice date and you want to impress them, take them to McAdoo's. Make sure you get the seafood fondue, and just about anything that you're going to get on the menu, you're not going to be disappointed. They have great lunch specials too. That's one of my favorite places to go. One of my wife's favorite places is McAdoo's. At night, it's an awesome back patio that they've got. Even when it's cold, they've got the heaters on. They've got a private room that you can rent. Anyway, it's not just a pitch for McAdoo's. We also have Weesatch Grill that's downtown. I've mentioned the Phoenix Saloon with their chili and the sweet potato wedges. Just on the east side of downtown on East San Antonio Street, you got places like Muck and Fuss. You go there for a great burger, but maybe you don't want a burger, you don't want steak, you don't want seafood, maybe you want some Indian food. We've got Seven Monks Cafe over on North Castell Avenue. Are you a fan of Asian food? We've got, okay, so here's the thing, like we went and traveled for a year, my family and I, between 22 and 23, and I spent 2 months in Vietnam, so I got to know Vietnamese food a little bit, right? One of the best Vietnamese restaurants that I've had outside of Vietnam is right here in New Braunfels, and it's called Pho U, and it's in the Freiheit Village area, kind of like behind Buc-ee's in the Creekside area. Oh, so good. Guys, if you made it this far, make sure you go and check out Pho U. It is so good. Thai food, we have, I think, 3 different Thai places. One of them's changed names, the one on Highway 46 South, a few times, but they're still open. My favorite place to go is Thai Racha, that's on the Loop, on Loop 337, I think in about the 200 or 300 block. And that's some of the best Thai food I've had outside of Thailand, because we went there as well. But yeah, it's just a huge variety. If you want German food, you can go and get some at Krause's. There's also Alpine House on South Seguin Avenue. You can go to Fork and Spoon, that's over in the Marketplace Shopping Center. And what they have, when I go to Fork and Spoon, we usually go for like breakfast, brunch time frame, and I like getting the schnitzel. They've got a good Jaeger schnitzel. But yeah, a lot of food options, and a couple of breweries that are around here. Oh, you know what? Faust Brewing is actually closing down. Dang, sad to see them go. But I think they're going to be doing something else. But yeah, the Guadalupe Brewing Company is here. Lots of wineries that are whether in New Braunfels, like over in Gruene, or just outside of town. We have the oldest bakery in the state of Texas with Naeglin's Bakery just on South Seguin Avenue. They're in the 100 block, just south of the downtown, like right by the plaza. So we have Texas' oldest bakery and the oldest dance hall. Great pizza, burgers, everything that's going to be outside of the national chains. You can't go wrong with New Braunfels and the food scene. All right, y'all, so that's the top 10 things to do here in New Braunfels, Texas. If you're thinking about moving here, which is why you're here, make sure you give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. All that contact information is down below. We'll be able to help you out like tons of other people. Until next time, y'all take care. We'll see you in the next video.